When talking about the extent to which the UK is democratic, first we have to evaluate the extent to which the current funding system supports the principles of the UK. Now, the principles of the UK political system are equality, fairness, democracy and people power. These principles are supposedly upheld by the UK political parties, which are funded by membership fees, donations and the state. However, I do not think that this funding system of political parties allows the principles of the UK political system to be upheld. Some argue the current system does support UK political principles because it acts as a link between parties and voters. Memberships connect voters to their political party by paying affordable fees. For example, the Conservative Party charges £2.9p per month and in total received £800,000. At face value, it may appear that membership connects voters to parties by letting members attend annual conferences and giving them voting rights in party elections, which supports the principle of people power, as the members have the right to choose which party to endorse and get linked to. However, in reality, it only acts as a link between a small, often elite number of voters, and so undermines democratic principles. This is shown by the fact that the £33 million received by the Conservative Party in 2015 came from only 2006 donations, whilst Labour received really large donations from individuals like Bernie Ecclestone. An argument that holds more weight in the current context is that corporations, elites and trade unions can influence law and policy by donating huge sums of money to certain political parties to influence their decisions, which is unfair and undemocratic, as the parties will be representing what the elites want and not what the people want, which goes against the principles of the UK. Defenders of the current system argue that it is well regulated and any state funding would be resented by taxpayers and impossible to agree upon. The funding system is regulated by an independent electoral commission, which supervises party spending and place caps on how much a party could spend in any constituency. Also, any donation of £5,000 to the National Party or £1,000 to a constituency party has to be declared. It could be argued that donations are the only way to fund parties without pushback from the taxpayer. These donations are made fair by making them completely transparent after a certain amount. A much more objective study reveals that the current system leads to huge disparities between parties and undermines fairness and transparency within the political system. A huge disparity can be found in the Labour and the Conservatives, reaching over £54 million in private donations, whilst the next six most popular parties only received less than £12 million between them. This undermines fairness, as people will be overly exposed to one party and smaller parties won't get as much exposure, reducing their chances at the election, which goes against the principles of equality, fairness and democracy in the UK. So in conclusion, the current funding system does not support the principles of the UK political system, as different parties have different levels of funding, which advantages some parties in election campaigns, which goes against all of the UK's political principles. This is shown by the fact that the two main political parties received over £54 million, but other parties collectively got less than £12 million. This can be solved by a reform from representative to direct democracy. This will be effective as it will be completely fair and easy to put into practice using computers and technological advancements. That is why the UK is not democratic.